Hello, this is War 13 Live. We have a lot of PDS tornado warnings ongoing right now across Oklahoma, a lot of them. We'll go from south to north here. I'll work my way. It's just me for the time being, so I'm going to be trying to do my best here. I apologize that this is very last minute. I apologize about that. But going from south to east here, we have a tornado warning here just over the state line into Oklahoma. Some of these warnings might update as I'm going on them, so I do apologize if some information is a few minutes out of date, but this is what the latest says right now. So this tornado warning is near Marietta. This is for a confirmed tornado that was located near west of Interstate 35, southwest of Marietta at of 11:04, so that's about 10 minutes ago, moving north at 35. Then up here we have a tornado warning for Ardmore and points around there for a I think that's a PDS tornado warning. Yep, that is indeed a PDS one. This one right here. That one is for a tornado that was located at 10:45, so that's about 30 minutes ago. Located over Ardmore, moving northeast at 30, so it has moved northeast a little bit, so we'll go to the warning box that was reissued to the north of here. So that it was issued just about 20 minutes ago for a tornado that was located over Gene Autry, moving north at 35 miles per hour. Again, that is a PDS tornado warning. So if you are underneath any of these warning boxes, please do shoot shelter on the lowest floor of your home or office building, and any walls between you and the outside as possible. So this is a rapidly developing situation, and we're going to be seeing a lot of storms ongoing right now. Given that this is a very intense situation right now, and I'll try to show where these tornadoes are based on the radar velocities here. It's not going to be the greatest look, and I'll try to do my best to explain what we're seeing here. So basically what we're seeing is when we see these reds and these greens really close to one another, that means that we're indicative of a strong rotation and possibly a tornado. Reds going towards the radar and greens going away. There's that tornado. This is probably the biggest one right now that we have, about to cross Interstate 40 near Okima. I think that's how you pronounce that town name. This is quite a considerable rotation here as it crosses, or will be crossing over Interstate 40 very shortly. Very large tornado moving north at 45 miles per hour. If you don't have any comments or questions, you can send those down to the comment section down below. Be sure to tag us at Force13. We'll be able to answer those in due course, and it'll light up nice and bright and orange for you, for you guys. And that PS tornado warning has actually just been extended towards the north. This is a new tornado warning now for South Central Creek County, West Central Ocmulgee County, and Central Okfuskee County, and Central Oklahoma until midnight Central. At 11:15, which is just a minute ago, a confirmed large intermediate tornado was located near Okima, moving north at 40 miles per hour. So that is a new PDS tornado warning in effect for the next 45 minutes, and that is our main circulation that I would be saying that we need to watch very closely as it pushes off towards the north here and looks to be passing potentially just to the west of Okima, maybe just a few miles. Looks to be crossing over the State Route 56 and US Route 62 areas just to the west of town over the next few minutes. So if you are in Okima, really your time is running out to take shelter, and you should be in your shelter already, if not already. Some locations down later down the line, there's just a severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service in Tulsa for this. We could be seeing Sapula later down the line and Tulsa. So if you're in Tulsa, watch the circulation closely. If it holds on, it could impact Tulsa itself. And we got this tornado warning here for Pontotoc counties. I apologize if I do pronounce any of the county names down here. I'm not familiar with this. I'm from Indiana. I'm not from Oklahoma. But this is a tornado warning that is in effect until 11:30 p.m. Central. This is not a confirmed tornado warning. This is just a radar indicated circulation. But of course, do take a tornado warning regardless of the level, tornado emergency, tornado PDS, whatever it is. Just take it as if it's a tornado warning and seek shelter on the lowest floor and put any walls between you and the outside as possible. It does appear that down here towards the south, there is potentially one or multiple areas of circulation to the west of Sulphur here. It's a bit hard to see on this radar. I'm going to try to get a better radar look that might show this circulation better. And that one does kind of a little bit better. So this would be right about where our tornado would be. I know it's not a favorable look at the radar, given that this is a fair distance in between two radar sites at the moment. So we're sort of looking really high in the atmosphere. We're not really looking in the low levels, which is ideally what we want to look at for these kind of tornado events. This is a spotter confirmed tornado right now. I think per the National Weather Service. Nope, they're saying radar indicated. Moving off towards the north here at 35 miles per hour. And it's worth noting that the town of Sulphur just had a large tornado just go through it, and they do note in the latest warning text, first responders need to prepare for additional tornado impact immediately, if not already. So a extremely dangerous situation right now ongoing in Sulphur, and I want to say that they've just issued another PDS tornado warning. Yep, another one down towards the south here. That's that circulation that I was first alluding to near Marietta. At 11:18, this is a tornado warning, by the way, for Love, Carter, and Marshall counties until midnight central. At 11:18 p.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Overbrook, moving north at 35. PDS tornado warning and effect until midnight central daylight time for those regions to the north of Marietta. Again, this is another PDS tornado warning. They have quite a lot in effect at the moment. So again, if you do have any comments or questions, you can send those down in the comment section down below. Be sure to tag us at Force13. We'll answer those in due course. But as things go right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate PDS tornado warnings, and that appears to be 3 ongoing large tornadoes at the moment. And of course, we got a tornado warning we did down here in Texas. And we have, I believe, more up here in central Missouri near the Jefferson City area down over here to the northwest of Jefferson City. That was going to in effect for the next 10 minutes or so. I apologize. I am losing my voice at this time. It's been a long day for me. But this circulation does continue to push off towards the west, and thankfully it looks to be passing just to the east of Sulphur. Thankfully. Let's hope that it continues on that track and doesn't hit any populated areas. Let's hope that it continues down that track. We'll have to wait and see, though. But thankfully, it does appear that this circulation up to the north has now crossed over Interstate 40. And that is just to the northwest of Okmia now. Okema? I don't know how to pronounce that town name. I apologize about that. Pushing off towards the north here, has crossed over Interstate 40. Thankfully, I don't think impacts on the interstate are going to be too bad. So I don't think that impacts over there will be fairly limited. Obviously, if you are out driving during these kind of situations, it's very important that you pull off at the nearest exit and get into an interior structure, not out in the open. Do not try to outrun a tornado that in this kind of instance, it's moving at 40 to 50 miles an hour, these kind of cells are. But when we're talking about generalized tornado movement, the average tornado movement is actually in excess of 70 to 80 miles an hour. So these kind of things can move very fast. And it's very important that you don't try to outrun it and that you go into a sturdy shelter. Do not try to hide underneath an overpass, as that will basically be a wind tunnel and will basically compress the winds into a larger area, which would lead to, or a smaller area, which would lead to a higher wind speed overall and therefore more impact. It does appear that this tornado, as it pushes off towards the north here now near Marietta, does appear to be quite significant as it stands right now, given that the radar beam is quite a fair distance away and we're getting this kind of rotation here. I don't think we're having anything on correlation coefficient. It's a bit hard to say, unfortunately. There's a lot of radar noise in the area, unfortunately. That is one caveat with this storm down here near the Texas-Oklahoma state line. I've got a second software up here. I'm going to try to look at the Dallas radar to see if I can get a slightly better look at this circulation, and that is quite high up, a debris signature that we're seeing on the radar. So yeah, this is quite likely a very strong tornado ongoing to the north of Marietta as it moves off towards the north here per the National Weather Service at 35 miles an hour. So if you are in areas out ahead of the circulation, and we'll get some areas here. We're looking at 11:50 a.m. for Gene Autry and potentially midnight, just past midnight for Doherty. And maybe later down the line, some areas, maybe Sulphur again, in the path of this extremely dangerous tornado. And another tornado warning just being issued now for areas just to the northeast of Sulphur and up towards our radar indicated tornado warning here. Tornado warning now issued for northwestern Johnson counties, Pontotoc counties, northeastern Murray County until 11:45. At 11:21, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Scuffin and Hickory, moving northeast at 50. Locations impacted with this tornado warning include Ada, Sulphur, Bing, Roth, Stonewall, Francis, Fitzhugh, Hickory, Scullin, and Fitztown. Again, tornado warning goes for those areas until 11:45 p.m. Central. That is a new tornado warning once again for areas like Ida, Bing, and Roth until, again, 11:45. But the main star of the show, at least as far as I'm concerned, appears to be this pretty significant tornado as it pushed off towards the northeast, or north-northeast, I should really be saying that's really this movement vector, to the east of the Oklahoma City metro, and is in the general direction of the Tulsa metro. Thankfully, it does appear that at this time, it does appear to be on a generally weakening trend, thankfully, as it pushed off towards the north here. If it does impact the Tulsa area, it's probably going to be more than an hour away. We're probably like an hour and 15 minutes away from impacting any sort of the Tulsa metro. We'll have to wait and see, though. It's going to take its time getting up there. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening, though, with that circulation. It's got more than an hour to get up there, and it could honestly retreat back into the storm, and the tornadoes die down quite significantly. Austin Reed is asking how far east could this stretch within the next 1 to 2 days. I'll make this very brief as this is a emergency stream here. So here's the day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. A very large slight risk area extending down from the central Texas and Louisiana areas up towards Iowa. A large slight risk area might get upgraded to enhanced tonight, or I should say this morning, as it's now over into the 28th. It's now Sunday. And the day 3 outlook paints a marginal risk level 1 out of 5 across the portions of the Gulf Coast, primarily areas in Mississippi and westwards towards the Texas border with Mexico. And anything past that, the SPT doesn't really have anything on the radar. So as far as it goes for severe weather, it does appear that this is it. This is a pretty significant event that we're sitting right now. That's pretty much it for the eastward extent. It's pretty much going to be just the Mississippi River, has to be said, which is quite interesting, given that it's sort of been a very long past 2 days weather-wise here in the U.S. So if you do have any comments or questions, you can send those down in the comment section down below. Be sure to tag us at Force13. We can answer those in due course and get those right out for you. Again, it is just me here for the time being. And we do have multiple PDS tornado warnings right now. I'll go over them from south to north. Bear in mind that there is a lot to cover. I do apologize if I do miss any PDS tornado warnings. Confirmed tornado warning continues for Love County, northeastern Love County until 11:45 for a confirmed tornado that was located west of Interstate 35, southwest of Marietta at 11:04 p.m. Central. So that's about 20 minutes ago. So it has moved fairly off towards the north here, and that tornado warning has been reissued for a PDS tornado warning, as I did say earlier, for Love, Carter, and Marshall counties until midnight. Moving north at 35, it was located near Overbrook at 11:18. Moving off towards the north here, our main circulation at this point does appear to be sort of, it's a bit hard to say where it is exactly, given that it is sort of in an area of it's sort of in between the radar here down near Dallas, Fort Worth, and the radar here in Oklahoma City, and it's at just enough distance where we do struggle to see it a little bit. But that PDS tornado warning does remain in effect. I'll go over the eastern one here. This is for Johnston, eastern Carter, and Murray counties until 11:45. The western one is for east central Carter and southeastern Murray counties until 11:45 as well for that one. Again, those are both PDS tornado warnings, so do seek shelter on the lowest floor of your home or office building that you are in, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. There's a tornado warning up towards the north PDS as well for northeastern Murray County until midnight central. Again, do seek shelter. And then we do have this tornado signature that is continuing to move up towards in the general direction of Tulsa here. Moving up towards the north for South Central Creek, West Central Ocmulgee counties, and Central Okfuskee counties until midnight central. And this PDS tornado warning down here to the south, it's safe to say that this will be allowed to expire. It does expire in 2 minutes. But I think that it's pretty safe to assume that that one's going to be allowed to expire, as that circulation is now solidly outside of that warning box at this point. But my absolute main concern now is probably going to be on this cell down here, as it is now approaching the town of Dixon. We'll go down to it here. I believe the radar here might have a good look at it. We'll have a look and we'll see what we can get on here. Oh wow, there it is. Yep, moving up in the general direction of Dixon, might pass just to the west of Dixon. Let's hope that it doesn't really do any significant damage to the town. Looking on a loop at another radar application that I have, it does appear that this storm is moving in the general direction of Dixon. So if you are in Dixon, you have mere minutes to seek shelter, as a pretty significant tornado is inbound to the city, just mere minutes away. And locations after that, we could be looking at once again Sulphur later down the line in about 50 minutes if this tornado continues on its current path. So again, this is multiple dangerous tornadoes right now ongoing. We've got multiple on the ground, so I do apologize if I am going to be missing any, or if I do skip over. I apologize. There's a lot going on, so bear with me here. So this the PDS tornado warning up near Okima, this other one that is, has been allowed to expire, as I expected they would have. But this tornado continues to push off towards the north and in the general direction of Tulsa. That's probably the secondary area of concern at this time, given that this tornado is probably the most intense right now that's ongoing. Pushing towards the town of Dixon here. You're in the town of Dixon. It says on here on this application that you probably had about 12 to 11 minutes. That's the average lead time for a tornado to take shelter. But it's probably a little bit less than that, actually, if I had to guess. It's probably closer to 10 minutes. So time is very quickly running out. Tornadoes are going to be difficult to confirm in here at night at this point. Just seeing a lot of reports on social media at this point that with this circulation that's moving up towards Dixon, the radar at this point is because it's so far out that it's depicting this there's our tornado right there. So this is a part that we call correlation coefficient. And basically, what we're looking for is those blues. Those are indicative that something is being picked up by the radar. In this case, that is debris or potentially probably trees as well, picking up. The radar is picking up that is not rain in the air at this point. Once again, this is a extremely dangerous situation, pushing off towards Dixon. Mere minutes away from impacting the town of Dixon. This is a extremely dangerous situation right now, moving off towards the north. Again, if you do have any comments or questions, you can send those down to the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer those in due course. Be sure to tag me at Force13, and I can answer those for you. It'll light up nice and brightly for me. So here's that circulation once again that crossed over Interstate 40 near the town of Okima. Moving off towards the north here. A bit hard to say if it's going to be pushing off towards Tulsa here. It does appear that it might be maintaining strength now. Has to be said. Still clearly a tornado on the ground with this one. Well, it's a little bit hard to say actually. Velocity is indicative at this point, which is this part. Red's going towards the radar, green's going away. Could be one of the other. Red's going towards, green's going away. I don't know which direction it is. Correlation coefficient doesn't really have anything. It's all noise at this point. So it's hard to say if there is a tornado on the ground with this one at this point. But the National Weather Service in Tulsa just updated it, and they seem to think one's still on the ground. So they say that a tornado warning remains in effect until midnight Central Daylight Time for South Central Creek, West Central Okmulgee, and northeastern Okfuskee counties. At 11:31 p.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 3 miles southwest of Okfuskee, moving north at 40. So again, that's for this circulation that is pushing up towards in the general direction of Tulsa here. And there's that path, and you can see if it's going to impact Tulsa. Looks like you have about an hour. So if you're in Tulsa, watch the circulation very closely. So we're still continuing to monitor these very train of PDS tornado warnings down here towards the south here, just to the east of Interstate 35, to the southeast, or to the well southeast of Norman at this point. Norman itself did get hit by the Norman suburbs did get hit by a tornado earlier today. So we'll have to wait and see what the Natural Reserve Office finds in there. So at this point, it's just a matter of just monitoring things as we go. And I am seeing as well on social media that we are seeing a lot of reports of significant reports at this point of significant damage here in the Sulphur, Oklahoma area, unfortunately. And let's just hope that everything is going okay over there. The circulation, as it pushes off towards Dixon here, I'll pull it back up on velocity here. That's really the best thing that I can give at this point for this kind of circulation at this point. Given the radar distance, it's not in a favorable location for ideal radar analysis at this point, which is just kind of how the luck of the draw is with these kind of things. This kind of thing happens every once in a while. But there's a lot of chatter at this point on social media of this intense circulation, and the radar is continuously picking up a debris signature at this point. We'll go back to the correlation coefficient product. There it is, pushing off towards Dixon here, probably impacting the town of Dixon as we speak right now. I'll get a distance up on the correlation coefficient to see what kind of height we're getting for this debris signature, given in mind that this is fairly distant out from the radar. So let's see how far this is up in the atmosphere. Let's have a look. So this debris signature at this point looks to be in excess of 25,000 feet. That is the altitude that airliners cruise at. This is an extremely dangerous situation, and certainly should not be taken lightly at all. This is the fact that kind of radar is getting that kind of signature from that far away is pretty notable, to say the least. And I am also getting reports that some semi-trucks on Interstate 35 in Marietta, as a result of this tornado, are overturned. So at this point, there are some damage in downtown Marietta on Interstate 35 at this point. Again, the circulation is pushing off towards the north here and looks to be probably impacting or has just gone through the town of Dixon at this point. A very large tornado probably on the ground as it pushes off towards the northeast here, and looks to be either going to, there's a new radar scan right there, looks to be either paralleling or will trek entirely over the US Route 177 corridor in between Dixon and up towards Sulphur here as it pushes off towards the north here. This is a extremely dangerous situation unfolding right now. At this point, it does appear to me that there are, at this point, 2 tornadoes on the ground at this point. They've just updated this tornado warning down to the north. That's a downgrade from PDS, quite a considerable downgrade. It's down to radar indicated, thankfully. So So that's interesting. They've downgraded that one from PDS now down to radar indicated, but that doesn't mean that a tornado could still be on the ground, so do details are with it. Tornado warning remains in effect until midnight for South Central Creek, West Central Okmulgee, and northeastern Okfuskee counties. Until midnight once again. Radar indicate tornado, and is that a debris signature on radar? I sure hope it's not. Let's have a look. I don't think that no, okay, we're good on that one. And it does appear that yeah, the radar's having issues. It does seem to be unfortunate that this kind of issue is happening now, of course. I wish that this thing wouldn't happen though. I know that I'm trying to get a better look for everyone here, and it's not in a favorable spot at all for to watch these cells at all, unfortunately. So again, the circulation has probably just pushed through the town of Dixon here. That is probably our main area of concern at this point, because this is a quite significant town here just along and just to the east of Ardmore. This is going to be along the State Route 199 and US Route 177 corridors. They've just gone and issued a new tornado warning for this cell now. This is a new tornado warning now for northwestern Johnston counties, east central Carter, central Pontotoc, northwestern Marshall, and southeastern Murray counties until 12:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At 11:38 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large intermediate tornado was located over Dixon, moving northeast at 45. Locations impacted include Ardmore, Dixon, Mansville, Mill Creek, Gene Autry, Hickory, Connorsville, Scutton, Pontotoc, Regan, and Lake of the Arbuckles. I think that's how you say that. But wow, what an impressive circulation at this point. At this point, radar analysis doesn't indicate. I'm losing another software for this, by the way. But radar analysis at this point doesn't indicate that debris at this point is being lofted up towards 30,000 feet with this cell. So this is the solid altitude that airliners cruise at. Typically, airliners cruise around 25,000 feet up towards 41,000 feet. 41,000 feet is typically the most ceiling for airliners, mostly. So this is a pretty serious situation as it unfolds right now, and I know that there's a lot of people asking, will this be upgraded to a tornado emergency? It is entirely up to the National Weather Service office in Norman, Oklahoma to do that. So at this point, the hour many with just PDS tornado warnings, they've got a lot in effect at this point. My apologies, my voice is dying at this point. As the circulation pushes off towards the northeast here, it's going to move in the general direction at this point, maybe of Sulphur. It's hard to say exactly where it will go in relation to Sulphur itself, but it does appear that it might be on track to miss Sulphur, thankfully, to the east again, or miss it to the east, I should say. So that's thankfully probably some good news, but some areas might not be very lucky, and as a result, potentially Mill Creek as well, as Mill Creek, as a result, it now appears to be in the direct path of this tornado at this point. So if you're in Mill Creek, you are mere minutes away from a pretty serious tornado impact at this point. So again, if you do have any comments or questions, you can send those down to the comment section down below. Be sure to tag me at 413, and we'll answer those in due course as it moves off towards the north here. This tornado warning continues up towards the north here and is getting in the general direction of Tulsa at this point. The circulation with this storm appears to be on a general weakening trend still. Let's hope that trend continues. It does appear to be broadening out, thankfully, and becoming more of a damaging wind threat with time as it pushes up towards the north here. So thankfully, it does appear that cell has merged with the line that it is attached to, and will be really turning it into a damaging wind threat as it pushes off towards the northeast here. Of course, a series of storm capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts has indeed just moved through the Tulsa metro. So if you do have any reports of any impacts in Tulsa, whether it be lightning, wind damage, or anything, please do send those in to us, as we could use those kind of reports. But as far as the tornado threat right now is ongoing, we do have a lot of PDSLs at this point down here. But it does appear that there's, at this point, to me, it does appear that there's just only a single tornado on the ground right now at this point. And that is that circulation that just pushed through Dixon at this point. 15 minutes ago, we were thinking that Dixon would be spared, and at this point, they probably have just taken a direct hit. But we are getting a lot of reports out of the town of Sulphur that they are in need of a pretty serious help at this point. So a pretty serious tornado impact has just occurred. It does appear in the Sulphur, Oklahoma area. And a new tornado warning has just been issued for the areas just to the south again. This is a new circulation that is developing over Marietta. New tornado warning for southwestern Johnston, northeastern Love, southeastern Carter, and northwestern Marshall counties until 12:15 a.m. Central. At 11:42 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Marietta, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. Again, that's going to be just to the northwest of Marietta at this point, and does look to be crossing over Interstate 35 immediately, if not already. Some locations under this new warning include Ardmore. Most of these locations will probably seem pretty familiar because they're under tornado warnings already. Ardmore, Marietta, Dixon, Mansville, Raven, Gene Autry, Russet, Overbrook, and Lake Murray. This includes Interstate 35 in Oklahoma between mile markers 15 and 29. So a pretty intense line of ongoing tornadoes continues here in Oklahoma. Again, if you do have any comments or questions, you can send those down to the comment section down below, and I'll answer those in due course. We've just gotten two new tornado warnings from the National Weather Service office in Tulsa up here. New tornado warning will go over to the one to the north of Tulsa. This is a continuation, actually. Tornado warning remains in effect until midnight Central for east central Osage counties. At 11:36 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes were located along a line extending from 6 miles southwest of Avant to 3 miles west of Skiatook, I think that's how you say it. Moving northeast at 55, and that is a new tornado warning that remains in effect for about the next 15 minutes, it seems, I think. Yes, 15 minutes. And a tornado warning to the west as well for central Osage County until 12:15 a.m. Central. And there are going to be multiple thunderstorm warnings in effect, so I'll go ahead and drop down this layer. That way we can just focus on just the tornado warnings for the time being. It's going to be very important that you have a way to receive watches and warnings going into tonight, given that most locations, if not the entire U.S. at this point, is past sunset at this point. So this is all going to be happening at night. So tornadoes are extremely difficult to see and confirm at night. And thankfully, good news, it does appear that the Oklahoma City Metro off towards the west has been dropped from this tornado watch. So if you are watching for the Oklahoma City Metro, I can call all clear for that. Just doing a little bit of analysis behind the scenes here at this point. That tornado warning does look to be remains in effect until they had a PDS tornado warning in effect for Sulphur, although I can see right now with considerable confidence at this point that the tornado threat for Sulphur itself has ended at this point. Of course, with this circulation down towards the south, or multiple circulations, there could be there's the warning being canceled as I say that. So there might be a circulation to the south that impacts Sulphur again. So Sulphur, keep a very close eye out on the circulation towards the south, as it could pose a threat towards town. Tornado report out of Sulphur here. Notable tornado debris signature. That's what TDS stands for. As tornado moved through town, widespread damage reported across Sulphur. So that is emergency management there, and Sulphur reporting significant damage in Sulphur. And looks like that we did just have a new tornado watch issued just a few minutes ago. I'll get the latest on this here in just a second. It's going to be for southeastern Kansas and southwestern Missouri until 7 a.m. Central. And that is going to be for this box right here. I will outline it right here like so. It's going to be that general area of a new tornado watch until 7 a.m. Central. So that watch goes just through the nighttime hours into the early morning hours. That just shows just how dangerous this kind of threat is going to be. It's going to go well into the overnight hours and into the morning hours, as it already is at this point. Given that it is just about to pass by midnight here over in the target area, albeit it is approaching 1 a.m. for me at this point. Just gotten a new warning here from the office in Norman. I'm just looking to see what they've gone and issued here. They might have done a new. Let's see if it's a warning. Yeah, I believe that's what they've gone ahead and done. Okay, so we are just left with at this point this I don't know if I want to call this 1 or 2 PDS tornado warnings at this point. With the circulation that has pushed through what's that town called? Dixon. Moving off towards the north here. Radar analysis does indicate that the tornado has weakened a little bit, thankfully, as it pushes off towards the north here. Moving off towards the north, per the National Weather Service office in Norman. They say it's moving up towards the northeast at 45 miles an hour here. Again, this tornado warning is PDS here. The one down here towards the south, this is just the near and south of Dixon. That tornado warning, I imagine, will probably be allowed to expire. If not, will be canceled sooner. If you do have any comments or questions, you can send them down to the comment section down below, and we'll answer those in due course. Of course, at this point, it is just me here at this point, so I am doing my best to cover things solo. It's not easy. But I like to think that I'm doing at least a fair good job at least. So this circulation is continuing to push off towards the northeast here, up into the general direction of Tulsa at this point. The arrow isn't a rough, accurate representation of what the circulation actually is. It's probably more so down here a little bit, but it's continuing to push up in the general direction of Tulsa, and it is continuing to look to or exhibit a weakening trend here and turn more into a damaging wind threat with time as it moves off towards the north here. So thankfully, the tornado threat with this cell at this point, it looks to be dying down at this point as it pushes off towards the north here. But all eyes at this point is going to be on this cell that has just pushed through Dixon down here towards the south here. Considerable tornado impact as well in the Sulphur area. And with a potential circulation also moving off towards the south, moving over Interstate 35 towards the north of Marietta. That too could also drop a tornado over the next few minutes. Again, we are continuing to track multiple circulations as they push off towards the north here. They are trending over a large areas, or they're sort of trending over areas constantly at this point. So do expect to see these kind of green boxes. These are flash flood warnings issued all over the place. Given that I think the Weather Protection Center does indeed have a high risk, I want to say, of excessive heavy rainfall. I'm trying to get their outlook here. Let's have a look at what they have. Yep, there's that high risk area of excessive rainfall outlined in pink here to the areas just to the east of Oklahoma City, and just to the south, or areas just to the south of Tulsa. But of course, the flash flooding risk extends well beyond that. It extends down towards the farmlands of Texas and up towards areas of the Great Lakes, even parts of northern Indiana and southwestern Michigan, and as far west as for northwest, I should say, as central Nebraska. Pretty significant tornado impact there over in the Omaha area, in particular 24 hours ago, or just maybe even a little bit more than that. So a pretty serious tornado impact over in those regions. New tornado warning from the office in Tulsa here. Tornado warning has been issued for north central Osage counties in Oklahoma until 12:45 a.m. Central. At 11:50, or 3 minutes ago, a storm cable opening a tornado was located 4 miles southwest of Pearsonia, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Again, tornado warning continues for is now in effect for those locations until 12:45, mainly for Pearsonia. If you have any comments or questions, you can send those down to the comment section down below. We do have a comment here there saying, Sulphur, Oklahoma got hit hard there. There are people trapped and homes are gone. That is indeed what reports are saying. A serious impact there in Sulphur, Oklahoma. And I do hope that everyone is okay there in Sulphur. Again, if you have any comments or questions, you just send those down to the comment section down below. Be sure to tag us at Force13. It'll light up nice and bright and orange for me to answer those. I'll try to switch to the velocity product here while I can. It might not give us a good look because you can see here these kind of colors are being distorted, and that is unfortunately right where the circulations are at this point. So it is difficult to say with accuracy if this if these circulations are on the ground at this point. But it does appear that the National Weather Service is going to continue as if this is a dangerous tornado threat on the ground right now, moving off towards the northeast here. It does appear that the tornado that pushed through Dixon at this point, at least to me, appears to have lifted. But of course, we have the circulation down near Marietta to the north of Marietta, pushing up towards Dixon again. That's going to be this storm down here. I'll circle the tornado warning box here. This would be this warning box right here that is pushing up in the general area of Dixon. And there's our circulation right there, just to the southwest of Dixon. There's Dixon itself right up there. And here's our circulation right here. Again, moving up towards the northeast here, per the National Weather Service at 50 miles an hour. So the circulation does appear to be circulation does appear to be well, good news. The National Weather Service in Tulsa will be expiring this warning at 11:45. They said that the storm responded to the warning had weakened below severe limits and no longer appears capable of producing a tornado. However, therefore the tornado warning for the storm would be allowed to expire. However, gusty winds and heavy rain are still possible with this thunderstorm. I do believe they do still have a severe thunderstorm warning out for this cell. Yes, they do. Okay. So thankfully, it does appear that things are winding down, at least thankfully. Which is a really good thing. And let's hope that that trend continues. Again, we are continuing to monitor these tornado warnings, so I'll go from south to north at this point for the counties under it. Tornado warning for Johnston, Love, Cutter, and Marshall counties until 12:15. Tornado warning for Johnston, Carter, Pontotoc, Marshall, and Murray counties until 12:15. And a tornado warning for North Central Osage County until 12:45. And that tornado warning is about to expire, so we don't need to worry about that one. So those are our, at this point, 3 tornado warnings in effect. You have 2 down here. You have 1 right up here. And of course you still have, or did have, some over here in central Missouri, but those appear to have been removed. So at this point we're just left with, at this point, we're actually left with 5 tornado warnings, but I'm not really counting this PDS near Dixon at this point, because that's no reason for that to be PDS at this point. The circulation is well removed from the warning. And there's that radar interference. You can clearly see, not every day that we see this kind of stuff with this kind of radar analysis. So just one more caveat that we have to deal with here, doing radar analysis here. Someone's asking, how bad will the situation be once the storm hits Dallas-Fort Worth? It's hard to say for the DFW Metro what kind of impacts will occur down there. I'll do my best real quick to do some quick mesoscale analysis of this event at this point. It does appear that at this point that we're just seeing just one big line of storms. That's probably going to be the most likely scenario that's going to be unfolding with this at this point. Now, the entire line probably isn't going to be severe. It probably will contain severe gusts across Oklahoma, at least for a little while. But the impacts for the Dallas-Fort Worth metro don't really look to begin until probably maybe another 2 to 3 hours. So you have a lot of time. Not really. Sorry, I got the hiccups now. But not really looking to be an overly large tornado threat down there, albeit there is still some tornado threat down there. I don't think it's going to be that particularly large, but there is still the chance of a brief tornado or 2 down there. But at that point, this kind of thing, it's going to be basically just a long line. So at this point, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get these kind of things that we're getting up here down there. Given that these cells are going to be struggling for space, and if you want a big tornado, cells like space. And looks like a new tornado warning has just gone out from the office in Tulsa here. They are warning this circulation once again, so they do think that it is still capable of producing a tornado as it pushes off towards the north here. New tornado warning for East Central Creek County, Northwestern Ocmulgee County, and South Central Tulsa County. This does not include Tulsa itself until 12:45 a.m. At 11:59 p.m. Central, severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado were located along a line extending from 6 miles south of Kellyville to 3 miles east of Ocmulgee State Park, moving north at 25. It does appear that if we're going to see an impact in Tulsa, it still does appear to be around 45 to 50 minutes away. I'm just doing some chatter behind the scenes now. Of course, if you have any comments or questions, please do send them down to the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer those in due course. Again, multiple flash flood warnings have been issued from the National Weather Service office in Norman as a result of this. So if you are within these green boxes here, please do seek shelter on the they say in the flash flood warnings, turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most floodings occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. In hilly terrain, there are hundreds of low water crossings which are particularly dangerous in heavy rain. Do not attempt to cross flooded roads and find an alternate route. Route, same word. So we're just left at this point with 4 tornado warnings. At this point, we have 1 or 2 circulations down near Ardmore. There's the radar back. one to the south of Tulsa, and one to the northwest of Tulsa. Let's do some radar analysis on this circulation down near Dixon at this point. I'll have to swap radars here on my other screen to the Dallas-Fort Worth radar, and sort of I'm having to swap back and forth, and this software makes it a lot easier than using this big radar software. And this tornado warning does appear to be, this tornado near Mill Creek does appear to be on the upswing again. Let's have a look at the storm relative velocity. It's hard to say exactly where it is. Although on my other radar, I'm getting a much better look at it, and wow, that is a very intense circulation at this point. So again, if you're in Mill Creek, you probably have just mere, probably like seconds away from a significant tornado impact. Once again, that's another town being impacted by a significant tornado as well. I apologize, I'm having some allergy issues as well, so I'm doing my best to cover this this event as it unfolds here. New tornado warning for northwestern McIntosh, central Muskogee, and central Ocmulgee counties until 12:45. At 12:01 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of pitching a tornado was located near Sulphur, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. This is a new circulation. That is going to be moving off towards the northeast here, just to the north of Interstate 40, to the north of Henrietta. Someone, Dark Steve, is just saying that it's sad to see that these same places are getting hit again and again and again. Indeed, it is. But this is the kind of luck of the draw that happens every once in a while with this kind of stuff. This kind of thing happens every once in a while. That's why we always say in the weather world that it's very important that whenever you get hit by a tornado, it's very important that you watch out for one behind your back. This kind of thing can catch a lot of people off guard. The biggest one that I can think about was an EF4 that happened down near Kenton, Texas. I'm not sure what day it is, but I know that it was I think it was April 2017. I know it was in 2017, but I don't know what month. But it was just training thunderstorms along the line, and they were all like within like a single county, and it was just multiple long, strong tornadoes, just one after another, like 5 minutes from one another. So this kind of thing just happens in this kind of business, and we just gotta just watch it unfold, and there's nothing we can really do but just hope for the best, and hopefully people seek shelter as they go over. So thankfully, it does appear that the circulation that has just pushed over Mill Creek, it does continue to, or is now on a weakening trend again, thankfully. So let's hope that trend continues over the next few minutes as it pushes off towards the north here. Again, this is the only PDS tornado warning that we have at this point. Whenever I went on the air, there was 5 to 6, and we're down to just 1 at this point. They have updated it, and they do say at 12:01 a.m. a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Mill Creek, moving northeast at 35. People in and near Mill Creek should seek shelter now. Another tornado was located near Ardmore, moving northeast. So maybe there's 2 tornadoes on the ground at this point. So some locations in the path of this tornado warning down near Ardmore at this point. We're looking at 12:25 a.m. for Mill Creek, 12:54 for Stonewall, and 12:56 for Tupelo. And the circulation that has moved through Mill Creek, we're looking at the timings of now for Mill Creek, if not already, and 12:45 a.m. for Stonewall. I just zooming some communications behind the scene. So this tornado warning up here to the northwest of Tulsa. I'll have a look at this one real quick. It's quite likely this is going to be just a quick little spin up, and yeah, that does appear to be the case with that one. And these two tornado warnings down to the south of Tulsa did appear to be quite the same as well, so they appear to be fairly weak at this point, and let's hope that they remain that way. But there are at this point, our main eye is going to be on these two circulations down here, on to the northwest of Dixon, northeast of Ardmore, moving off towards the northeast here at 50 miles an hour. And again, this is now continuing to be a PDS tornado warning for Mill Creek. Has been ever since this warning box was issued. Over an I think it was at this point over an hour ago. At this point, this warning box has expired in 5 minutes. Will be very interesting to see what the National Weather Service office in Norman continues it as, which I imagine we'll know pretty shortly. So we're just left down, or what should I say, we're back up to 5 tornado warnings to this point. Only one to this point is confirmed, and that is this tornado warning that has just passed through Mill Creek at this point. So that circulation has passed it through Mill Creek and looks to be moving in the general direction of Stonewall. Again, if you are in Stonewall, you're about half an hour away for a potential tornado impact if it holds. Of course, 30 minutes is a lot of time for things to change in this kind of weather business. If you have any comments or questions, you just head down to the comment section down below. Be sure to tag us at Force13. It'll light up nice and bright and orange for me to answer those in due course. How is Tuttle? I'm not exactly sure where Tuttle is. I'll do my research here. Let's see where Tuttle is at this point. That's Tuttle, Oklahoma. That's going to be just to the southwest of Oklahoma City. You're fine. You're all clear. 2 minutes until this PDS tornado warning expires. We'll have to wait and see what they do with the warning box. I imagine that they will probably reissue it at least as a tornado warning, at least. That's probably what they should do, at least. That's what I would do. But at this point, it does appear that the whole line at this point is catching up to the supercell at this point. So it does appear that this tornado potential with this cell at this point does appear to be. And there's the tornado warning. I'll go over it here in just a second. But the tornado potential with this cell at this point does appear to be fairly limited at this point, given that it is now merging with the line, and these cells are going to be fighting for space. And when you have cells fighting for space, they don't like that, and that limits the tornado potential quite significantly. New tornado warning for northwestern Johnston and southeastern Pontotoc counties until 12:45 a.m. At 12:12 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles south northeast of Mill Creek, moving northeast at 45. So they're going with not a confirmed tornado as it stands right now, but they're going with a tornado warning. So do shoot shelter on the lowest floor of your home or office building if you are on one. And a new PDS tornado warning for the circulation down towards the south. New tornado warning for northwestern Johnston County, eastern Carter County, southeastern Murray County until 1 a.m. Central. At 12:13 a.m., a confirmed large and distributed tornado was located 5 miles east of Gene Autry, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. This is a PDS tornado warning. Take cover immediately. Locations impacted include Dixon, Mill Creek, and Reagan. So that is a new PDS tornado warning for the tornado that is per the National Weather Service just to the east of Gene Autry, moving northeast right now at 1 a.m. Central, or that's the time that the warning expires. Moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. And we're down to now 4 tornado warnings, 2 new ones. These are the 2 new ones down here. Again, the northern one is radar indicated, and this other one is, again, a PDS tornado warning just issued. So Mill Creek does look to be in the path of the circulation once again, unfortunately, it has to be said. If you're in Mill Creek, you are potentially 10 minutes away from yet another tornado impact. Sorry, just doing some communications behind the scene. If you have any comments or questions in the meantime, be sure to tag us at Force13 while you ask them in the live chat down below. It'll light up nice and bright and orange for me to answer those in due course. Update to that tornado warning up to the north. Tornado warning remains in effect until 12:45 a.m. Central for northern Osage County. At 12:15 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southwest of Elgin, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So this circulation is going to push in the general direction of Mill Creek once again. Tornado impact for Mill Creek looks to be just a few minutes away, if not already. Again, it's in a radar coverage area where it's hard to say if there is a tornado on the ground, given that there is a lot of radar interference at this point. So it's a bit hard to say what's on the ground and what's not at this point. So we'll go from south to north here because it'll be pretty easy for me to cover all these. So a tornado warning for Johnson, Cutter, and Murray counties until 1 a.m. PDS tornado warning. See shelter on the lowest floor of your home or office building, but as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Tornado warning for northwestern Johnson and southeastern Pontotoc counties until 12:45 a.m. Tornado warning for West Central Osmogi, West Central Muskogee, and Eastern Ocmulgee counties until 12:45 a.m. And tornado warning for North Central Osagie County until 12:45 a.m. Central. So those are the only tornado warnings that we have in effect across the entire country right now. All of which are in Oklahoma at this point. 2 to the southeast of Oklahoma City, or 2 really in between Oklahoma City and the DFW Metroplex. 1 to the south of Tulsa, thankfully not moving in the direction of Tulsa, moving towards Muskogee and points north, and 1 heading up into Kansas as well. And I just had to jinx it. New tornado warning just issued for northern Cole County and southeastern Hughes County and eastern Oklahoma until 12:45 a.m. At 12:19 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Centrahoma, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Locations impacted with this new warning include Tupelo, Stewart, and Centrahoma. Again, that's a new tornado warning for Cole and Hughes County until 12:45 a.m. So if you are under any of these red boxes here, you can see those on my screen. You have 1 right there, 1 right here, 1 right there, 1 to the south of Tulsa, and 1 to the north of Tulsa, heading up into Kansas. These are 5 tornado warnings active right now. If you are underneath any of these, do seek shelter on the lowest floor of your home or office building, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. It's a bit hard to say if this PDS tornado warning is actually a ongoing tornado, given the radar coverage at this point. But I would just say at this point that this is a ongoing tornado at this point, pushing off towards Mill Creek. And I am continuing to monitor things behind the scenes as well on the situation over in Sulphur, Oklahoma as well, just the northwest of this tornado impact. Significant impact over there. Lots of reports of damage and obviously injuries, obviously over there. That is not really what we want to hear, but that is what has happened. And there is unconfirmed reports as well of some worse situations over there. I'm not going to go too in depth, but we'll let the authorities do what they have to do over there, and hopefully they can do that in a timely manner, and hopefully everyone is okay over there. Just reading the chat once again. Yes, Tuttle, Oklahoma is in the clear at this point. That's just to the southwest of Oklahoma City. The entire Oklahoma City metro at this point is well outside of the tornado watch, albeit just to the east of it at this point. But if I were to outline an area right now of the main threat here in Oklahoma, it's really going to be this general area, this general region. If you are within this circle region, there is still a threat for tornadoes overnight tonight. And looks like that tornado warning up toward the north has been allowed to expire, and a new tornado warning for Muskogee has now been issued. New tornado warning for Wagoner, Muskogee, and Ocmulgee counties until 1 a.m. Central. At 12:21 a.m., a severe squall line capable of producing tornadoes that may not be visible due to heavy rain. That's quite a alarming wording there. Was located 6 miles southeast of Bald Hill, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So these tornadoes are going to be moving slow. They're fast developing, and you can't see them given that it's at night and it's heavy rainfall. So again, extremely dangerous situation if a tornado forms over there. So if you are under that tornado warning, seek shelter on the lowest floor of your building that you are in right away. Do not wait. So I do think that I am going to have to, unfortunately, end the stream here due to resources behind the scenes. So I am going to have to end the stream here. So it is very important that you do stay tuned to your local National Service office for the latest information on this extremely dangerous situation that's ongoing here in central Oklahoma. Again, I do apologize that we have to end the stream here due to resources behind the scenes. It's a bit busy for us behind the scenes at this point. So we'll try to bring further coverage if there is if the situation does warrant it later on tonight. We'll have to wait and see though. But have a way to receive watches and going tonight, and stay safe and stay tuned to your National Service office for the latest information. Have a good night and stay safe.